Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today you have the Rhino, and we are looking at a beer from the Blue Elephant Brew House in Simcoe, Ontario. This is American Amber. It is 5% alcohol, and I cannot tell if that handwriting says May or March 30th. So, I guess it's time to pop it open. Here is a glass that I'm sure is going to have, well, there's a lot of dust in there. Okay. I was going to say I should stop this and go and rinse the dust out so there isn't as many bubbles sitting to the side. Just for looks, professionalism, and stuff like that. Because I haven't used this glass in years. I mean, we've been doing the beer review for 6 years. I picked this glass up 6 years ago. This brewery stopped talking to me 2 years ago. They got angry at a comment I made about the price of one of their beers, and showed them a blind taste test I did with their beer in it to show that it wasn't biased. And I still rated their beer fairly low, without knowing which one it was, and then I brought up again the fact that their price was way too high. So I haven't touched this glass in forever. It's been sitting on the shelf, and I thought, let's grab some glasses that haven't been used in a while. Now, normally, like I said, for posterity, for professionalism and all that, I would go and rinse this dust out, but I just don't care, because now that I've sniffed this, I know that it is the exact same as every other fucking beer from this brewery I've had. And I just do not care. I just do not care anymore. So the Blue Elephant is a brew pub in Simcoe. Their menu ranges from normal pub food to curries and shit like that. And Thai food and everything else. They have a wide selection of beer they make. They are on YouTube talking about their brew school and everything else. I don't slag breweries much anymore. I usually try to be very negotiable, very diplomatic in the way I think. But this is a brewery I don't think I'll ever stop at again. This is now beer 11. This is the 11th beer from them I've had. There's been 7 diacetyl bombs and 4 beers that were really good. So the brewers have some skill. Either they just don't care, or they have major flaws in the system, or they really just got lucky with the 4 that were really good. Now, most of these beers that had a big diacetyl bomb still had good flavor to it, so I still would think that they have good skills, at least recipe making skills, if not brewing skills. It's one of those things that's just boggling my mind right now. It's making my mind go, oh, because I know a lot of people that have homebrewed only for a few times and have never gotten this much diacetyl in their beer. I don't know what their system is. I don't know if they're if they're not hitting temperature properly. I don't know if they just don't care. Like I said, I don't know any of this, but this is pissing me off. This is pissing me off because as a consumer, I paid almost $70 for 22 beers, which in craft beer, even in macro beer for cans, is pretty damn good. But why did I pay that money? Why? When I'm getting something that a first-time homebrewer could give me. And that's what's bothering me about it. A first-time homebrewer could make a beer with this much butter in it, and I would respect that. Okay, it's your first time. This is what you did wrong. These guys have been open for a while. How is this still happening? How do they, and their slogan is, local just tastes better. Are you people in Simcoe just brainwashed to think that if it's local, it must be better? Because it's only better if it's better. You might as well be drinking Coors or Canadian. Instead of this, when you're getting these butter bombs, why would you drink these butter bombs? Is it the brewery's trademark? Is the brewery's trade? Because I know for a while Grand River was doing that on purpose, but why? And you have brewers get mad at me. Nobody brews a bad beer. I tell you that people will brew a bad beer. If it's full of brewing faults, it's brewed badly. Whether or not it's their own fault or equipment's fault is up for debate, but it's still a bad beer. You might like the taste of it, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to be mad at you for liking the taste of it. What I'm going to be mad at you for is if you deny that it has brewing faults. That's where I'll get angry. If you're gonna openly say, yeah, it does have a big buttery taste, but you know what, I like that. That's perfectly fine. We all have different taste buds. That's perfectly fine. But there's still things in brewing that classify as a brewing fault, and diacetyl is one of them. And it's the easiest one to avoid. And I'm bothered because I did spend almost $70 there, and this is what I'm getting. Now, the beer is an amber hue. It looks great. The head is big and off-white. It looks great. There's not much snap, crackle, pop. It's a very thick, creamy head. Visually, this beer is very appealing. Scent-wise, it's butterscotch and, like, butterscotch movie theater popcorn and rotting apples. That's what I smell. Like, I don't get it. You're a brew pub. If you brew a beer that has a whole bunch of faults, take that beer and turn it into something that your brew pub uses instead of canning it and selling it to people. Who wants to go home with this? Really? And you're in Simcoe. Yeah, I know Simcoe doesn't have... You're the only brewery technically in Simcoe. But Delhi is there. Delhi and La Salette, both right beside you. They're both technically Simcoe. One has New Limburg, one has Ramblin' Road. New Limburg is a very nice brewery that makes a great deal of very good Belgian-style beers, and they sell them at a very reasonable price. Actually, their 500 milliliter bottles are the same price as your 500 milliliter cans. The trick is, they're not full of diacetyl. Then you could go to Ramblin' Road, and yes, the prices are worse, but you get a standard beer that doesn't have diacetyl all over it. You also can buy a bunch of treats from Picard's Peanuts. Let's drink the beer. Cheers. It's another one of those beers that has a really promising flavor profile, which actually pisses me off even more. The more I drink these beers, the angrier I'm getting, because the brewer obviously has talent. And like I said, at the very least, he has talent in creating recipes, if not brewing itself. And from everything I've seen, he knows how to brew. I just don't get this. I don't get it at all. So this is actually... Other than the really buttery butterscotchiness of this beer, this is the perfect American amber. It's very, very malty, but the malt is completely and utterly destroyed by the butter flavors. A little gassy. It tastes fine gassy on the burp. Yeah, it tastes perfect on the burp. No butteriness. So yeah, I don't get it. And see, I run a beer festival and everything else, so I don't like ranting anymore, because it really hurts my relationship with some breweries, like this brewery. Anyway, I really don't get it, because he obviously has skill. I don't get what's going on here. You are a brew pub. If you make a beer that's full of brewing faults, don't can it and keg it and sell it. Take it. Use it for beer bread. Use it for beer cookies. Use it for beer battering. Use it for whatever the fuck you have to use it for at your brewery. Use it in the place of water when you're making recipes. Use it in your curries. Use it in whatever. Make some money off of it. But don't sell it to the public as a good beer. And this beer, as I said, it's basically the perfect American amber under that butteriness. I don't get it. It's perfect. It has that caramel flavor underneath the butterscotch and the butter. It has that beautiful sweet maltiness under the butterscotch and the butter. And then it has a beautiful piney and earthy finish that just lasts. It's still there on the back of my palate. So this is the perfect American amber. Yet it's also one of the worst American ambers I've had because of the fact that it's filled with diacetyl and it was sold to me like that. That's what bothers me the most, that it was actually sold to the public like this. And that it tastes so fucking good, other than the butter. That pisses me off too. Because I know that I could really love this brewery. But now that I've had 7 butter bombs, I can't go back. I can't. I can't go and say, you know what? I spent $63 here on 22 beers. And I only felt that 8 of them were worth the money. So basically, I'm saying I'm only happy with 8 of them. Pretty much, I'm saying that I paid $8 a can, and those were the only ones I enjoyed. And I can't get behind that. These are $2.50 to $3.45 cans, being $2.45 to $3.45 per can, and those are great prices. I mean, the prices aren't bad, and if the beer wasn't full of the diacetyl, I would love this place. This place would be like Perth Brewing to me, where the beers are not top notch, but they're good. And the price is good. Perth Brewing does the same thing. Perth Brewing sells their cans for something like $2.10 a can. My aunt picked me up 24 of them, and they were all different types. It was a whole... No, she picked up 12 of them. Sorry, 12 of them for $25. So you're looking at like $2.05 a can. They were $3.55s instead of 500s. But they were 12 different flavors as well, just like this brewery. They did a whole bunch of different flavors. You know what the difference was? There was no butter to them. They were the same thing. They were just standard flavors, but they worked. So I'm agitated with this brewery, but at the same time, I think that they have promise. I just can't bring myself to going there again. Out of 10 on this beer, probably a 6 out of 10. If you took the butter away, it would probably be an 8.5. I mean, it's just that good of an amber. Thank you, guys. Bye.